She placed her 2 toddler boys in an oven and turned it on and then killed them. Trigger warning for this video. A Georgia mother of 3 who placed her 2 little boys in an oven and killed them after turning it on will thankfully spend the rest of her life behind bars. This was after a judge ruled this in Atlanta on Friday. 24-year-old Lamora Williams was convicted of several charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder for the 2017 deaths of her sons, 1-year-old Jacarter Penn and 2-year-old Keontae Penn. The 2 children were said to have been killed about an hour apart. Reportedly, Lamora called 911 that day and told the dispatcher that when she went into the kitchen, she saw that the stove was lying on her youngest son's head and that her other son was laid out on the floor with his brains out. She stated she didn't know what to do, that she just came home from work. She then stated to the dispatcher, "Can you please help me? Can you please tell me, I don't want to get locked up because this is not my fault. I mean, say you're guilty without saying you're guilty." She says she had just come home from work. She reportedly told authorities that she left all 3 of her children with a caregiver from noon until 11:30 p.m. that day. And when she came back, she found that the 2 children were dead and that the caregiver was gone, allegedly. However, authorities said that sometime between midnight on October 12, 2017 and 11 p.m. the next day, Lamora knowingly and intentionally killed the 2 toddlers by placing them in the oven and turning it on. Unreal. According to an autopsy report, the boys' heads were stuck in an oven that had been tipped over. The medical examiner also did not agree with police claims that the boys had been burned. It was said that the thermal changes appear to be entirely from dry heat and changes from prolonged exposure to heat. It was stated that it would take an extensive amount of time to get to that degree. Prosecutors reportedly stuck by the police department's version of events, though, and discredited Lamora's narrative. And she reportedly pled not guilty throughout the whole trial. Of course she did. Now, it was also said that the boy's father called 911 around the same time that Lamora did. He reportedly told the dispatcher that he had just received a call from his children's mom and that his boys were dead in an apartment. He said that Lamora video called him and he saw them and he thinks they're really dead. He stated in a news interview it was like a real life horror movie like Friday the 13th, and reportedly he was very distressed and distraught, and I can only imagine. Anyway, on Friday, Lamora was convicted of 14 counts. She was quickly sentenced to a term of life in prison without the possibility of parole with an additional 35 years. The judge wasn't playing, and I'm so thankful. There's so much evil in this world. I really don't understand how somebody could do this to their children. I just don't get it. Can y'all imagine what those 2 precious boys went through? My heart absolutely hurts. For more true crime, be sure to click the follow button.